What's up, people? Each morning I come in hoping that I'm going to be in a good mood and it's going to last for the day. But it's 9:33. I'm already pissed off because yesterday we were talking about Joey Diphard, how he was kind of getting shaky there. But a miraculous thing, we started buying stocks there, and we had some great moves. Picked FSLR up under 160. I said this is a gold mine right here because it hit the point where I said this is a buy. It closed that gap from that earnings report. You want to be buying this stock. And lo and behold, we're up 10 points on the stock. That's if you held it overnight. If you didn't hold overnights, what can I do? What can I tell you? There's a lot I want to talk to, and there's a lot of things that I want to talk to. Sometimes I forget about them because it's just me talking. Sometimes I forget. There's no one-on-one thing, which is what I want to hopefully bring to the table. What I'm going to do is just going to try to keep it as basic as possible. I'm just going to get a phone line in here, and then just see if you can hear yourselves over the speakerphone, and we'll take it from there. So yesterday was an extremely awesome day. Joey Diphard alive and well. His cousin underlining bid is making some money. So if you bought the stocks I was talking about, the Joy Global, the X, the Baidu, the FSLR, and the Google, you're having a great morning. Of course, I'm not in anything because I refuse to hold overnights. There's a lot to talk about because Max the Retard. I did a Max the Retard show maybe a few months ago, talking about Lenny Dykstra and how I can't understand how this guy is getting such credibility. He seemed to me like he's a closet mongoloid. I think he's a borderline retard, but apparently he was making all this money. I never understood what he was saying, and then to make it worse, Jim Cramer was calling him a genius, one of the best on the street. And if you watched Real Money yesterday, basically it's finally come out that Lenny Dykstra was a fraud. Another fraud, another exposed fraud scam artist on Wall Street. And it got worse and worse. And we're going to have a couple of people on that I know that worked with Lenny Dykstra. So as soon as we can figure out how to get an interview with them, we're going to shine some light on the wonderful world of Lenny Dykstra. But what's even more amazing about it is that Jim Cramer was sucking this guy and just saying how awesome he was and underappreciated. Just proves another point that Jim Cramer has no idea what the hell he's talking about. He has no idea who he's talking to, and he's got no credibility now. This is like a Madoff kind of thing. If you were recommending Madoff, it makes you look bad because you had no idea what you're talking about. So now saying that Lenny Dykstra was this awesome person, this half-breed foul mouth, and I'm a cursor myself. I like talking like that because that's the way I was, that's where I come from. But there are situations where you don't want to talk trash. You don't want to look like an idiot, foul-mouthed bastard on television. The guy came off like, it's just too easy to make funny Lenny Dykstra. But that's enough. What I want to talk to you right now is everybody who's been coming to the chat room. And you know I have this Malice from the chat room. He comes here. Now, I wanted to see how this guy could trade and if he could make some money, and maybe I would let him go on his own. I'd give him some money. But more importantly, what I have him here for is a witness to what I do. Because if you don't believe it right now and you haven't come to the chat room and you haven't seen the wonders that I possess, there's a reason for you not to believe it. I'm just a guy on the internet. I'm a guy, I don't charge for anything. There's no subscription service. I've been talking a lot of shit. I'm insane. All that stuff. There's no reason to believe me. So I have a witness. And I'm going to put Malice on, even though he's a very unattractive fella. He's very disturbing looking. Whatever. We don't want to talk about that. I don't want to insult anybody. Oh, sorry, I already did. But he sees what I do. I told him where to be buying the FSLR. I told him about the Joy G and the X. And he's there witnessing what I do. I get in. I take my little bit of money. And the stock goes up a point. Because I wasn't looking at the bigger picture. The bigger picture, whereas we're probably going to go up today, I should have held on to some stocks. Fine. But let's talk about the chat room. If you're new to the chat room, you come into the chat room, we have some ladies in the chat room. Now, we talk some trash in the chat room. We're always yelling and screaming. Sometimes we get into some fights. We talk nasty stuff. But there's ladies in the chat room, and most people keep it conservative. Now, there's a guy that came in the chat room, and he wanted to show his picture of his penis to one of the ladies in the chat room. Okay, listen. I know it's a chat room. I don't know where you came from. Maybe an AOL chat room 10 years ago. That used to be funny. But if you want to show your penis to anybody, why don't you send me a picture of your penis, okay? So I'll throw it up on the internet and we could all laugh at you. Of course, if you're well endowed, maybe we'll just be amazed by what we're looking at. But do not tell people in the chat room that you're going to send pictures of your penis to them, please, okay? Be a little bit respectful if you're going to come into the chat room. Again, if you want to come into the chat room, call me a dick or an asshole, fine. Just don't insult the other people in the chat room. Have some respect, please. That's all I ask. I don't ask you guys to do much except for embrace the horror. But what I bring to the table is just phenomenal. I mean, look at what we're talking about. I was talking about, these stocks are all up. They were getting hammered on Monday. I was like, this is a good time to be buying some stocks. You want to buy this dip because the market's not going down. This is the new America. However you think all this stuff that the government's done for us is going to affect us in the future, even if you think that the dollar's going to crash and oil's going to crash and gold's going to be $2,000 an ounce and the stock market's going to go to zero, that doesn't matter. We're talking about today, and we're talking about right now. And that's what I do. That's what I do. I tell you what to do, what to get into, and you could be making a tremendous amount of money today. And if you were to have the balls enough to step up and trade some of the more expensive stocks, we're talking about Baidu coming off 265. I said get into that stock at 266 because now you only have a point risk. Reason why? I like whole numbers. The stock had come off 40 points off the highs. I said, let's take a look at this stock. You might want to hang on to some at 266. If it breaks the low of the day, get out of it. Boom. You had a 5-point day today into another 10-point move today. It's just phenomenal what happens. Phenomenal. So, that's it. That's it. I'm going to be on the phone with the Lenny Dykstra people because I want to get an interview. I'm friendly with a couple of people that actually worked for Lenny Dykstra. This is before he became this stock market guru. I never understood. When he was interviewed on CNBC, it was like they were afraid to grill him. Because I can't even do Lenny Dykstra. I just need to punch myself in the face, take 40 or 50 ludes. Maybe I'll do Lenny Dykstra and have a little bit of drool coming out of my mouth. Buy deep in the money calls. I buy deep in the money calls, and when the stock goes up, I sell it. That's all he said. And nobody had anything to ask him. How do you pick your stock? What's your analysis? But me, you want to question. Lenny Dykstra, you don't question because he played some baseball. Come on now. I do it every day. Every day. Come to the chat room. It's hitthebid.com. Come to the chat room. And eventually, I've been saying this for 5 years now, if I ever do make some money or somebody wants to, like I said, we're doing this pilot. What's going on behind the scenes right now, the reason I decided not to build anything into this website is that I'm in it for the fame, okay? I'm hoping that eventually I will have my own show. So I'm hanging on to that hope that something good's going to happen to me where I'll have advertisers and none of you will have to be bothered by pop-up ads and that kind of thing or whatever. But we'll see what happens. Right now, I'm just a douchebag on the internet trying to help. That's it. Good luck, and I'm just going to sit here and continue to sell my puts and sell my calls and hope the market goes sideways. Because, another thing. How many times do I say I'm going to quit the business? What quitting the business means to me, I talk in extremes. I understand that. When I say I'm quitting the business, that means I'm just taking it easy. 100 share, 200 share lots. Not trading as aggressively as I normally would. I'm never going to quit the business because I sort of know what I'm doing. I know when I start growing balls again and I actually maybe start making some decent money again, it'll start feeding on itself once again. But right now, I'm being torn between a lot of different things. I'm trying to be funny. I'm trying to make these comedy shows. I'm trying to pitch my ideas to television networks. I'm trying to get on Howard Stern's show right now. I have to respond to all these emails. I have interviews, people coming in that want to be part of the show. So I'm like being torn apart by a lot of different things in my life. So that's the way it is. But the bottom line is we're going to put Malice on. He sees what goes on. If you want to question me, come to the internet, come to the website, hitthebid.com, ask people what I do. It's mind-blowing. See ya.